What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Money Car here on the Money Car in our 2003 Sim Series YouTube channel. That sounded really dumb. Never saying it like that again. But welcome back to Money Car here on Fox Sports 1. Got the Pass series at Pocono, getting ready to kick things off for what is sure to be a wild one here today. As we head off of turn number 1, not turn 2, and down the long pond straight, not the backstretch. We don't have a backstretch at this racetrack. It's just 3 distinct straightaways, rather, and 3 distinct corners. Turn 1 based on Trenton's turns 3 and 4. Turn 2 right here based on Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And turn 3, oh boy, well that's just based on the Milwaukee Mile. 3 separate distinct corners based on 3 separate racetracks. 1 giant racetrack fusing the 3 together as we head down into 3 and 4. The pace car is going to make that hard left turn on a pit road. Frank Kimmel will lead us to the green flag. He's got the 2 of Scott Speed to his outside. The 99 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. right there behind him as well. Starting P3, Matt Carter in the 46, P4. Justin Allgaier rounds out the top 5 with Ian Slager to his outside. All 6 of our top contenders in the season right here as the green flag waves and we're racing at Pocono. Down into 1 and 2 for the first time. Cars right on each other's bumpers here. We head through the corner and they're making it. Off of turn 2, down the back straightaway yet again, or excuse me, long pond straightaway for the first time, but rather yet again, but rather the first time up to speed, and now into turn 2. And we're wrecking back here. Multiple cars into the wall and they're grazing trying to get past. They're able to make it through. Coming off of turn number 4, or excuse me, what turn 4? Turn 3. Frank Kimmel's going to lead us back to the caution flag, and we are under yellow. Let's go back and take a look at what happened to James Busher in the 32 car, among others. Watching back from the start of the race here. Where is he? He's shuffled way in the back here in the middle of all this mess. Huge swarm, if you will. And there he is. As we head down the back straightaway, you can see him back there. Stuck on the outside lane, and something tells me he was up there minding his own business, and something fell right into his lap. As we head into the corner, yep, wrecking in front of him. And he had absolutely nowhere to go. It was the 26 of Brad Smith that got involved in this one. Oh, received a bump from behind. That sent him up across the nose of Michael Phelps in the 45. A bump from Rob Thompson in the 01. Some more contact up here. Justin Lofton up into the outside wall after contact with the 36 of Jesus Hernandez. Brian Silas in the wall with him as well. And then there's Busher getting his damage, and he gets grazed by the 14, who just slipped through there, Chase Mattioli. And that'll bring out the first caution of the day. Here we go. Cars in yet again. We're about to try it one more time from Pocono Raceway. Green flag back in the air. We're racing yet again. And Scott Speed got a great jump on the high side. I think Frank Kimmel might have spun the tires a little bit, and he did not get going at all. They started pulling out behind him, trying to make it 3 wide as we head down in the turns 1 and 2 for the first time here today. And look at that. Who's that flying through the middle? Oh, that's none other than the 16 of Justin Allgaier clearing that 46 car. But now look who's to his outside. It's the 97 Ian Slager, the Canadian driver, up in the mix as well. As Frank Kimmel dives underneath Scott Speed for the lead here through the tunnel turn. And they're making it through. Off turn number 3. Caution is out yet again. And it's going to be the 2 of Scott Speed leading us to the caution flag. Justin Lofton caught up in this one. Got a little bit of damage earlier in the race as he got put in the wall, and now even more damage to the right front of that 20 car. Looks like some contact behind them as well. Sent the 72 of John Jackson up to the outside wall. Man, that is a hard hit, a big rear end impact. Looks like he just got in too deep on the bottom of 3 wide there and just couldn't hold it down. Slides up, and while trying not to wreck the guys above him, he wrecked himself. It's really unfortunate, but hey, that happens in racing. Looks like the 20 of Lofton just gets shoved into the corner by the 11. Brian Silas not too happy with the 20 car, it seems, as he just drove through. I mean, absolutely pile drove him into turn number 3. Didn't even attempt to lift, just used him as a brake pedal, sent him up into the car to his outside. I believe that's the 50 of Greg Sachs, and into the wall they went. Man, we saw the 2 of them got together earlier, and they both went up into the outside wall. Looks like Silas not too happy with Lofton there. And watch this. Still hard on the gas, finally on the brakes as he gets into the rear bumper of the 20. Sends him up the racetrack, and they're trying to wreck in front of him as well. So separate incidents up here. Like the 77 of Parker Kligerman was able to drive off into the corner a little deeper than the cars ahead, and they're already making contact up there. They're into the wall, and around goes the 20 of Lofton. Payback here. In the past series, we have seen penalties from paybacks before, but I think this case is a little different. It's not in the middle of the field. It's not, you know, taking out 10 other cars. Well, it's unfortunate one car got collected in that. It's different from the suspension we saw from, who was it, Brian Kozlowski or somebody that absolutely rocked somebody in the Grand National Series at Iowa. 3 wide down the Long Pond straight as we head into the tunnel turn. It's going to be Scott Speed taking the lead, but little contact from behind. The 4 of Taylor Malsom right there into the mix, saying hello, peeking his nose in there. Patrick Sheltra as well. And how about the 46 of Matt Carter cruising behind the 44 driver that used to drive the 46 car. That's Frank Kimmel in the 44 car in the race lead as we complete our first lap under green here today. Scott Speed using the draft to his advantage, pulls out to the inside of that 46 car. Can he keep the momentum up long enough to stay alongside of him in the turn 1? Yes, he does, with the 46-pound grip up high, and was able to drive on by out of the corner. Now heading down into turn 2, the Long Pond straight. Another very long straightaway, not as long as the front stretch, but still long in its own right. Giving these drivers enough time to think about what they're going to do heading down into the next corner, and we got a car on top of the safer barrier, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is involved as well. Oh, and a big impact for Michael Phelps, and he gets hit hard, and he's on his roof. A terrible crash. We're still wrecking. Justin Allgaier's involved. Chrissy Wallace. Championship implications big time here from Pocono. As chaos breaks out all in one lap, Justin Lofton has more damage to that 20 car. This just has not been his day. Man, oh man. What an insane lap. What happened to Ricky Stenhouse for him to end up so far back? He's deep in the pack. Oh, just got in there too deep. Way too aggressive. Sent that 00 up onto the safer barrier. Rob Brent just minding his own business on the high side there. And the 99 being aggressive, trying to work his way back up through the field. Just got in there hot. Drove in there, tried to dive bomb here. Just gets in there way too deep. Can't hold it on the bottom, slides up, and went straight into the door of the 00. Gets hit by the 30. Oh, and then another one from Justin Lofton. And then the 45 of Michael Phelps gets in the Lofton. Gets sent around, bounces off that wall, and then bam! Weird angle from the hit. Bounces back onto the track and in the traffic gets hit by the 31. That is Austin Dillon in the 31 car. And Austin Dillon out of this race, the rookie. Running a limited schedule this season. One of his first starts, and unfortunately gets taken out due to a wreck. Riding on board with Justin Lofton here. Man, watch this. Oh! You hate to see that. And that car gets toppled up on its roof by Austin Dillon. Had nowhere to go. What happened to Christy Wallace down here? Christy Wallace and Justin Allgaier. Looks like Allgaier behind his teammate, and they're all just bunched up in there in the corner. 25 has to check up. Allgaier too close to him to react, and they all go into the outside wall. Poor Christy Wallace, an innocent bystander, was just up there minding her business. She gets collected. Championship implications big time here, as championship contenders getting very aggressive in this race, taking each other out, taking themselves out. And now it's up to Frank Kimmel and Scott Speed. One blowing up is Patrick Sheltra. Blowing up, headed down pit road. Very unfortunate for Patrick Sheltra, but the green flag is waving yet again. We're racing once again here from Pocono, and already 3 wide for the lead. Matt Carter on the inside. Scott Speed still hanging tough up high. Frank Kimmel's in the middle. The middle lane is going to prevail. Kimmel trying to run that 2 car up the racetrack. They come off turn number 1. Still dead even, side by side down the back straightaway. The 2 with a bit of a draft from the 4, but the 44 coming back up. He's going to side draft heading down into turn 2. The tunnel turn. Both drivers checking up, trying to keep it clean here. They're sending it in behind, but they're all going to make it out alive. No, they're not. Wrecking further back. Who is it? It's a big crash. Bobby Gerhardt's upside. Oh my goodness. Red flag in the air. Corey Rabinold just experienced a horrible crash. And we're going to just cut the camera away from that. Goodness gracious. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to the Pocono Raceway. The red flag is in the air for a huge crash involving Bobby Gerhardt, Corey Rabinold, and many others. And we're just going to start off by saying everyone is out of their cars under their own power. And for the most part, they are okay. Corey Rabinold has been taken to the infield care center, and he is being checked out. Hasn't been released yet. He's being checked out at the infield care center due to some minor injuries, complaining about pain in his shoulder. But for the most part, he is okay. Quite a bit shaken up, but he is fine. And you'll be wondering how he's even standing right now when you see this replay. Look at the violence of this accident, as we've got 4 cars in the air right here. And look at Rabinold getting hit, getting drilled by Greg Sachs as cars come piling in almost at full speed. And you see the 39 car grinding on its side before coming down on top of the 5 and eventually landing on all 4 wheels right there. Wild, wild accident for Corey Rabinold, but luckily, as I mentioned, A-OK. 3 cars upside down here from Pocono. Let's dissect how it got started now. As the red flag is in the air. Cleanup's going to take quite a while here from Pocono. They might have to think about calling this race a little early. We're this close to the end and such a long cleanup. I don't know if we'll be able to get this race started again, but it looks like the 1 of Tommy Hessert just wasn't clear. Tried to come up in front of the 23, just wasn't clear. Gets sent around in front of the pack, and man, everybody trying to squeak by up high. The 84 gets hooked by the 5 right up into the path of oncoming traffic where everyone was going to avoid this wreck. And look at the wild ride Gerhardt takes, man. I mean, that is insane. We have an onboard camera with that number 5 car. Watch this. I don't know how that camera stayed on the whole time. I don't know how we didn't lose that camera, y'all. That was absurd. One of the wildest wrecks I've ever seen here on the channel. Watch it again from this angle. Actually, from this one. We're going to watch this one first. Benning, or rather, Hessert hooked into the wall. Benning slamming on the brakes. Gets into the back of Daryl Basham. The 5 trying to check up. Gets into the back of the 84. Couldn't check up in time. They go up. Bam! Into Ali Owens, who almost snuck through. Corey Rabinold, nowhere to go. He's hard on the gas trying to get by. And look at the 39 car up in the air. Can we talk about that 5 car for 1 second? Look at how high up. He almost got into the catch fence, y'all. He almost hit the catch fencing. Gets drilled in the undercarriage by Michael Annette. Very violent crash. And then Rabinold, oh my goodness, Rabinold just gets hit hard while upside down. One of the vulnerable spots of these race cars. So I try to find a good view of it for you guys to see. Watch this. Car tips over right in front of the 50 who had nowhere to go. Oh, wow. Nowhere to go. I mean, man, that is violent. But luckily, it seems to have hit him more in the... Is that the right rear of the car? Yeah, it is. The right rear. So I was worried he got hit in the window net or something. Man, that was really, really bad. But as I mentioned, luckily everybody is, for the most part, okay. Gerhardt and Rabinold a little shaken up. Norm Benning a little gingerly out of the car, but he's fine as well. Everybody's definitely going to be sore. They're probably going to be a little bit bruised, but what's important is that they are out and walking and okay. Watching it one last time at full speed. Get a 79 of Jimmy Nowell, sliding through there. Michael Annette has an onboard camera. We'll watch that real quick as well. As the yellow flag is back in the air, we're going to possibly get this race restarted soon. Oh, man. It didn't even sound like Annette lifted off the gas until it was way too late. He's seeing smoke down low, and then they suddenly come up right into his lap, and there's just nowhere he can go. And then the 50 drills at 79 right into him as well. Cars getting torn up, cars sliding all over the place. Pure chaos, pure violence here from Pocono, and Tommy Hesser just sees the absolute chaos he created there. Heart probably in his stomach after that. But the green flag is back in the air. We're racing. Let's try it one more time here from Pocono. Kimmel dove off into the corner, thought he could clear, but here comes the 2 of speed with the speed on the high side. You have a big enough run to clear that 44 car. The 44 gets up on his door, gonna pull him back a little bit, entering the corner. Side by side through the tunnel, turn contact being made. Oh, and they're in the wall. The top 2 into the outside wall. Frank Kimmel, Scott Speed, falling back, dropping like a rock. And now Speed into the rear bumper of the 44, sending him up the racetrack. Not happy that he just got walled right there. That allows Taylor Mawson to take the lead. And that's Ken Butler the third right there behind him in second, looking for the lead now as he pulls out down the front stretch. Side by side, heading down into turn 1. Butler inside. Mawson up high as we head down into turn 1 yet again. Look at the run for Matt Carter as he gets by Dexter Bean up high. Carter's going to clear for third, and he has to run for second, looking low. He's going to have to pull back into the draft a little too far back. Or no, he still has the momentum. He's going to try and send it on in there. Side by side, 3 wide behind him. Through the tunnel turn. How did they make it out alive? Frank Kimmel on the high side is going to prevail. And look at the 2 of Scott Speed. The 97 of Ian Slaker stuck in the middle, being squeezed in the middle there. Probably wondering, oh boy, how am I still alive? 2 laps to go from Pocono. To the inside, Matt Carter can't get there. Side by side for the lead. Out of turn 1, or for second rather, out of turn 1. Here comes Ken Butler the third with a run off of the tunnel turn. Can he get to the lead? The 46 hops back in line. The 22 clear by a long shot. Can he get the run he needs on the 4? Look at Kimmel diving it off in there. Very aggressive move. Little contact with Dexter Bean. Frank Kimmel was the dominant car of the day. Looked like the man to beat. Now playing catch up here as he tries his best to get back to the front. Here comes Ken Butler the third yet again. Another run to the inside off turn 3. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go for Pocono. Who's going to come out on top? Will it be Taylor Mawson? Will it be Ken Butler the third? How about Matt Carter in the mix? Looking at taking him 3 wide. Carter dives off into the corner. He's got to run. Turn 1. Final time. Carter, Butler, side by side. Here comes the 37 of Dexter Bean back into the mix as well. Matt Carter is going to clear the 22 heading down another tunnel turn. Can he get low? No, he can't. The 22 keeps his nose inside. Battling hard for second. That's what Taylor Mawson wants to see in his rear view mirror as we head through 3 for the final time. Taylor Mawson is going to come off turn number 3 at Pocono to see the checker flag. He's going to get his first career win at the Tricky Triangle. Taylor Mawson wins it at Pocono. Matt Carter comes home second after a hard charge late in the going there. And Frank Kimmel brings it home in the top 5 with Scott Speed just behind him in 7th. John West Townley P6. Ian Slager, our championship drivers, falling back in this race, and we saw new faces out in front, and one of them ended up winning. Taylor Mawson. Congratulations to Taylor Mawson. First career win at the Tricky Triangle Pocono Raceway. That's going to do it. Hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, hit that like button and subscribe. I hope to see y'all next time. And until then,